Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Ask Victor as usual in the middle of the month. No, we are 14th of November, so this is going to be released 15th of November, most likely. I like to do this Ask Victor once a month, where I answer questions, open questions from people that is subscribed to my channel, any person that wants to leave any comment here on my channel. I'm looking down a lot of time because I have here my computer. It's really a laptop in that case, and I will be reading the questions directly from my computer. But yeah, if you want to know more about me or you have any question, feel free to leave your questions on the comments below, and I will cover them more or less. Take into account that we'll cover them more or less in 1 month. I like to do it just once a month. I think it's good enough, and it's not just to cover super recent news. If something is changing just next week, most likely will be outdated when I answer that. So it's just a warning. And if you like this series and you want it to continue, don't hesitate to drop your questions below. So let's start with the questions, and the first ones are coming from Vince Venturella, a great hobbyist, highly recommended channel. And if you want to also learn from other people, I recommend to subscribe to him. So have a good, he's a great painter, and I think it deserves attention. So yeah, he's saying good response all around. Thank you. Here are some questions for you. What is your favorite color scheme from amongst the Space Marine chapters? Favorite and Imperial. Favorite Imperial and favorite Chaos. Not your favorite chapter, but rather just the one whose colors and look you like the most, regardless of other factors. I will say from the loyal ones, the one I like a lot is the green of the salamanders. I think they have the green with the flames. It gives a lot of chances for a nice painting. On the same direction, I like the Legend of the Dam, or the Dam Legend, sorry, the one that is black with the flames in red. I like more the ones with vibrant colors than the ones that are more mute. And then the other one I like it, although are especially the Death Wind from the Dark Angels. I like a lot this type of cream colors. I think give a lot of play for painting. And one color scheme from the Dark Angel, this is a successive chapter that I like a lot, is I think it's called the Angels of Redemption. It's half cream, half dark green. So when I go for Space Marines, I like some bright colors normally. I will experiment for more mute colors. But if I have to choose one, let's put the salamanders. Why I have not done salamanders, don't ask to me. Maybe because I just wanted to test something different. If I look to the Chaos Marines, here I have more. I will say the look I like a lot. The look I really like for the look are the Thousand Suns. I think I really like this combination of blue with yellow, and is the combination of the color plus the Egyptian look like. So and I also like a lot I will say the Thousand Suns, and I like them as well pre-heresy and when they are in the chaos. So summarizing, I will say the salamanders and the Thousand Suns. So we talk about vehicles. Do you want to see more appropriate vehicles in Age of Sigmar? Right now it's sort of the steam tank and the dwarf frigates, but there are many true vehicles. Would you like to see that increase? To be fair, I prefer, if I play Age of Sigmar, I like more monsters than vehicles. And when I'm painting, I have to say that I enjoy more painting monsters than vehicles. I enjoy more the organic parts than the vehicles. I like, don't get me wrong, I like some vehicles in 40k. I like to be able to do freehand on vehicles. I like to do the weathering. I think uh, each type of miniature have their own techniques that you can practice. But in Age of Sigmar, as I have vehicles in 40k, to be fair, on Age of Sigmar I prefer to do big monsters. And this is why I like more monsters than vehicles. I like a lot the frigates they take for the KO, but if I have to compare, for example, the frigates to a Drake or a Dragon, I prefer to pick the Dragon. If I have to compare to the Lord of Thench, I prefer to paint the Lord of Thench. I find more interesting painting the big monsters, and if I have to compare to Archon, I prefer Archon, to be fair. Or I prefer the how it's called, no, the Terror Haste, or the Zombie Dragon from the Death. So I really like more the monsters. That say I will never paint a vehicle, no, and I also painting war machines. So I'm painting here no a trebuchet for my Bretonnian. I still painting some Bretonnian, to be fair, but I enjoy more painting in that case in the fantasy the monsters than the vehicles. And then, what is your least favorite army range of miniatures based on look alone? In fantasy, one army that I did not like at all and was very old was the first version of the Chaos Dwarf. I did not like really this dwarf with this very strange hats. Sorry. But if I have to look the armies today, I will say that the less appealing for me are the normal, the dispossessed dwarf, the normal dwarfs. Followed by, yeah, I will say that. And the reason is, I like, in fantasy, I like more the monsters. And traditionally, this army never had monsters. They have the war machines, but the war machines are not too appealing to me. And they are quite short miniatures, so there is not. I'm missing normally in the dwarf. One thing I miss a lot is this centerpiece. It's hard to have this centerpiece. For example, you look Skaven, you have the great demon of the Skavens, right? You have the Vermin Lord. You look the elf, you have this dragon there. You look the Stonecast today. Now you have the Star Trek dragon. This was a miss when they launched the. Until they have not launched this one. You look Chaos, you have a lot of centerpieces, you have demons, you have Archon. Almost all armies have this monster. The ogres, you have the big monsters, no? But then you go to the dwarves, and that is where I miss this monster, this centerpiece. I know they have these frigates, but if you look the traditional dwarves, they never had this big centerpiece. They have some medium-sized things, but never this big centerpiece. And it's not that I don't like the dwarf, but I find less than appealing because of that. If I look 40k, the army that was appealing the less to me was normally the Tyranids in 40k. It's maybe not too much on my taste, all these type of bugs. But I have to say that always all the armies have something that is appealing to me, have something. I don't find this army that I will never paint. So this way I think it's good to say the least appealing. So the least appealing in 40k I will say is Tyranids from the look. The least appealing in fantasy are the dwarf, although I don't say that I don't like them. Okay, these are the questions from Vince Venturella, always dropping his 3 questions. Keep doing that, I really enjoy answering these questions. So let's go to Edic Beer, another great channel, and I also highly recommend to subscribe to him. It's him and his hobby, and it's been doing videos for a long time and sharing a lot of knowledge about the hobby. So nice answers as always, Victor. Have you seen Star Trek Discovery yet? And what do you think it so far? I have not seen it yet. is know that I'm in Netflix is in my list to be watched, but yeah, recently I was trying to finalize or I was dragged recently to Stranger Things, highly recommended. Normally I watch the TV shows with my wife or my kids, and in the case we have watched I watch all the Next Generation with my wife, and yeah, I want to see more Star Trek because I only watched so far the Next Generation and some parts of the how it's called, Deep Space Nine is called Deep Space, the one on the Starbase. So yeah, but looking forward to watch it. Is in my list to watch. Let's go to the next question. Thanks a lot for the question, Eric Beer. Next question is from Frisk Jack, and it's more a petition. So do you? You did an excellent answer to questions video. I have been in 40k or any other miniature games as long as you. I have not been in 40k or any other game miniatures as long as you. I have run into chips and breaks and some of my minis are already. These are not always easy to fix. Paint fades and breaks, sometimes breaks or missing pieces. It will be of great service to us viewers for you to do some videos on how to tackle this. I think it's a great subject. Sorry that was missed here. I will make a video about that. I have to say, for me the key is how you keep the miniatures, but I will share my experience when I have to move all my miniatures from Barcelona to Brussels. When I moved to Brussels for work reasons, I had a lot of breakage, chipping and so on, so I will explain how I tackle that. Okay, so I will go there, and sometimes there are not good solutions, I have to say. Next question from, thanks a lot for the topic, and I think it deserves a video, so I will do this on a separate video. Next point is from Charlotte the Wanderer. Another Shakespeare question. Do you think that Games Workshop will later release a gaming kit without any warbands, meaning only the boards, cards, dice, rules, books? Well, I see they have released dice, but I think this is quite normal. I don't see the reason to release the book without the miniatures. I don't see why they are mainly miniature company as they want to define, and if you see all the games come with miniatures, so I don't see them releasing rulebook without miniatures. I think the cards will also come linked to miniatures, to warbands. I don't think they will release the cards alone. I hope they don't go to the card business. It's not something that is appealing to me. I like what they are doing now, that is releasing cards together with miniatures, because for me the value is the miniatures and not the cards. I don't know if they will release cards alone. This is the only thing I will think. I hope they don't do it, because I don't want to start buying cards alone. But they have done decks for 40k and fantasy. Maybe we are going to see decks for Shakespeare. Decks, I think yes. Rulebook, I think no. I think rulebook will always come with a warband list. Dice they have done. Boards is another good point. Maybe they release a kit. Why not? But I don't know. I think if they release a kit with only the boards, it's going to be quite weird. But they have done this on Blood Bowl. I will say, if I bet for something, I will say I bet for the cars, and maybe they will launch a different starter kit for Shakespeare in future. It's quite cheap, only 5 miniatures, it's not that expensive, and it's nicer kit of the miniatures with the cars. But yeah, knowing Games Workshop, I don't know, I just think, I hope they don't follow the card business. And the last question is from Brian Fraze. or phrase or phrase. Let me know how to pronounce that. Good video, Victor. What do you think is the biggest barrier to new players coming into the hobby? Is the cost? Is the learning curve, modeling and painting? Is the social challenges of finding players? What was the biggest challenge for you? I think the biggest challenge is to know that it exists. This is the first point. It's not a type of game that is spread out. Although is more and more known, yeah, it's growing, but it's not. If you compare to the board game, it's not comparable. I think the learning curve is the next one, and it's not the learning curve of knowing the rules. I think it's the commitment that can push back some people, especially when you talk about 40k or even Age of Sigmar. There is a lot of commitment. You have to paint, you have to assemble. I think this commitment is not for everybody. There is if you just want to open and play, let's put any board game that you just have to read the rules. Also the rules, and I think this is why I think it was the step of Games Workshop to move to 4-page rules. If you look the rules of most of the games, they are about what, 10 pages, 20 maximum, not that much. Okay, and they can have even Carcassonne or some games that are super popular. The rules are quite short, right? There are not so many rules. I think when you show a person that you have to read 50 pages of rules, this is a big barrier. And I think this is why AOS was great moving to 4 pages. It's a way to be open to more people. People can invest on reading 4 pages. People is not that open to invest to read 200 pages of rules. Although it's not never 200. If you look, if you really come that way, you will arrive that it's only about 20 or 25 pages. When you have a book like that thick, and they tell you this is the rule book, oh, most of the people is stepping back. No, it's not for me. Then there is the commitment of the hobby. This is another barrier. So, and I think Games Workshop again is launching Shakespeare as an experiment to see if with this super small commitment, just 3 miniatures, 5, 6, you play. Okay, and maybe this is a hook to show the people the hobby. I'm coming to Age of Sigmar that is a little bit more commitment. I think it's great to have games. I think also is why Games Workshop is experimenting a lot with low count miniature games, and is why this launch of Necromunda can be good, and why they always did kill teams. So I would say for me the biggest barrier is is the learning curve, together with the commitment, modeling, and all these type of things. It's a lot of time that you have to invest, and not everybody is open to invest all this time. And then there is also the type of, so first is how many people know that is a big barrier. I don't think the cost is a barrier at all. Can be a barrier when you are a teenager, but Shakespeare today is quite cheap. But it's not more expensive than a video game. It's not more expensive than I would say than a board game. And if you compare a video game to play PS4, how much you have to invest there? It's much more money than what you need to start playing AOS. AOS, you can buy the box, and you can play from there. Yeah, you can start there, and then over time you can keep buying. But if you check some of these people that are really into the gaming, how much money you invest? If you play computer, you need a good computer to play. You need to invest a lot in the computer. If you play with video games like PS4 or any other type of video games, at the end the people have huge collection of games, and it's a lot of investment and money put there. Well, so I will say, of course, any hobby, it's expensive and it's investment of money. But I will say, for me, it's the learning curve, the commitment that you need to dedicate to the hobby. Topic can be also rare, and we look like as a nerd community, niche. We are quite weird people normally to the rest. I think this is changing over time, but this is still considered, oh, this is a weird thing. And yeah, when you prefer spend the night of Friday playing this game or going to the bar to drink some beers or the discotheque, a lot of people still prefer to go to pub or to spend the time in a different way. So I think it's also how you want to spend your time, no? But yeah, for me, if I have to choose one barrier, commitment and the learning curve, more than the learning curve, all the commitment the investment of time that you have to put into the hobby. And that's all. That's all what I wanted to explain here. Yeah, this is all the questions I have for this month. So if you want next month to have this video game, please leave your questions in the comments below, and next month I will cover them as well as I did. I really enjoy that, so it's a really part of my channel that I really enjoy. I like this type of interaction as well as I like the interaction where people is choosing the tutorial of the month. I started working on this guy, maybe he's not seeing the camera, I start doing the green on the armor, so this is going to come in this channel soon. So how to paint, this is the winner. Maybe I will do another one if I have time. So but that's all for this month, for this Ask Victor. As usual, please give a like if you have liked it. Leave your questions below if you want this series to continue. And yeah, and thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.